The idea of writing a book on Adolphe Valette and L.S. Lowry crystallized when I was curating the exhibition at the Lowry entitled Adolphe Valette, a Pioneer of Impressionism in Manchester. Already there, I highlighted a few points. We all know that Valette was the teacher of Lowry, and I highlighted some aspects of the relationship, but I soon realized there was much more to say about the relationship between the two artists. So I'm starting the book in a rather conventional way, I would say, by explaining what happened before they both arrived at the Manchester Municipal School of Art in 1905. Valette studied in Saint-Étienne and won many prizes at the art school of Saint-Étienne. After that, he went to study in Lyon, and there again he had collected many academic honors. And surprisingly, he didn't go to Paris, but went to study at the École des Beaux-Arts of Bordeaux. And then we find his trace in Manchester. He had his first lodgings in Plymouth Grove in Victoria Park, and that is actually not far from where Lowry lived when he was very young. Lowry himself said that Valette came to Manchester as a designer to a textile firm. Actually, Valette worked for Norbury, Nazio & Co., who were printers for the textile industry, let's say. Then I start the next chapter is on L.S. Lowry, the youth of L.S. Lowry, and I put him in his youth. He was born in 1887, and his youth is, of course, put in the industrial context of the industry in Manchester at the time, which had taken on a world historic significance since the Industrial Revolution. I display a few paintings by Lowry, for example, An Accident, which is exhibited at the Manchester Art Gallery, which is an important painting. The first one he sold to the Manchester Art Gallery. Other works. And then his mother, the portrait of his mother, who actually never encouraged his artistic aptitude. The only thing she indulged in was actually the seascapes of the Fylde Coast that he did over the years. And actually, Lowry says that he took his inspiration from Valette for his seascapes of the Fylde Coast. This is a typical work, the lodging houses, where you can really see the influence that Valette had on Lowry in both subject matter and style. Then the next chapter, well, we are in the heart of the subject. It's at Valette and Lowry at the Manchester Municipal School of Art. The School of Art still exists. It is in Grosvenor Square. It used to be called All Saints. And Valette's talent was very quickly recognized, and he was offered the post of Master of Drawing and Painting. And he taught L.S. Lowry. And now I would like to show you there is a myth about L.S. Lowry that he said it himself, actually. He never passed examination. Well, that's not true, because in the archives of the Manchester Metropolitan University, after turning pages and pages and pages of school records, I find that Lowry actually was successful in and won 4 prizes at the Manchester School of Art. That is quite interesting, because that's a myth that needs to be dispelled. Lowry liked the drawing from the antique class, and so that is drawing from cast from the antique, and he said it's actually his teacher Valette who really started him on that. And you can see these are 2 nudes from the antique, on the left from Valette, on the right from Lowry, and you can see that Lowry was actually quite good at the drawing from the antique class. Valette taught by demonstration. This was very different than what happened habitually in this art school. And when I say taught by demonstration, he went around the students and would make little alterations or corrections or small drawings to explain to the students how they should do it. The atmosphere was quite interesting at the Manchester Municipal School of Art with these models. This is a drawing from Lowry, a seated male nude, which he did under the tutelage of Valette. And again, you can see that Lowry was quite competent in the live drawing classes. These are two paintings, by Valette of models. And of course, they both had the same model. So this is, for example, Julian sketched by Valette, and this is Julian drawn by Lowry. Lowry, this is a painting by Lowry from 1914, and he showed this painting to Valette, who didn't like it. And he also showed this painting to another teacher, Mr. Millard, who also didn't like it, and he criticized the treatment of his figures, and he said, oh, they all look like marionettes, like puppets, and if you pull the strings, they would all cock their legs up. So Lowry asked Valette to give him private tuition outside the evening classes at the school, but Valette declined. And he said, you should go to another teacher, a private teacher, whose name is Fitz. And Lowry did quite a few still lifes with Fitz. However, Valette said to Lowry's father that his son should persevere. So he actually encouraged Lowry to go on painting. This is a painting by Valette. He took his students on outdoor trips. Painting en plein air, in the open air, was something introduced by the Impressionist painters. And so Valette took them either in the countryside, took his students either on the countryside or in Manchester. And Valette is famous for small pochades quickly executed during these Manchester trips. Valette also, this illustrates another tack of Valette's activities. He designed posters for companies. Valette, this is a photograph of Valette with his star students. Lowry is not on the photograph. Here is, for example, a painting by Lowry of another pupil at the School of Art. And these are portraits of pupils, fellow students of Lowry at the School of Art. I don't want to be too long because I know that these videos shouldn't be too long. So I'm just going to tell you which are this is the next chapter, Adolphe Valette and L.S. Lowry, Influences, Similarities and Differences. And I'm just going to let you know what are the various subheads. The artistic scene in Manchester at the turn of the century. Then the treatment of the industrial theme by artists in Britain. Then Adolphe Valette, a late Impressionist painter and the painter of modern life in Manchester, painter of the industry in Manchester, painter of the modern life in Manchester, as I just said. Then Valette's Impressionist paintings of Manchester and their influence on L.S. Lowry. I'm talking as well of the influence regarding the composition, for example. Lowry and late Impressionism. These paintings are from Lowry, painted en plein air. These are two, you wouldn't believe it, but these are two paintings by Lowry. Valette Lowry. Then Lowry's move to Pendlebury, his portrayal of the industrial landscape and Valette's influence. Then the waning of Valette's influence, because from 1920, Lowry found his own style. The skies became brighter, etc. He met a gentleman called Bernard Taylor, who had a pivotal role in Lowry's taking off in his own original way. Now I'm talking about the various locations in Manchester painted by Valette and by Lowry. Piccadilly Gardens, for example, by Lowry. Then I go on with the participation in the same exhibitions in the 1920s in Manchester for Valette and Lowry. Then Valette and Lowry at the Paris salons, because it is not well known, but Lowry exhibited works in the Paris salons from 1928 until 1933 with images of the paintings that were exhibited in Paris. And there are quite a few, actually, paintings that were exhibited. Then the long life exposure of Lowry to the works of Valette and Lowry's assessment of Valette tutelage. And I finish by referring to a quote of Leonardo da Vinci, who said, "Pure is the pupil who doesn't surpass his master." And I think this really applies to Lowry, because a great teacher like Valette, he will prepare his disciple for his departure, which he did. Valette left Manchester in 1928, and that's when Lowry really took off. And, well, definitely Lowry surpassed his master because he achieved worldwide recognition.